For most of your life, you've been living in an economic fantasy land and you didn't even know it. It was a world of cheap stuff, constant upgrades, and even fresh pineapples in the middle of winter. This entire system, this crazy magic trick, was built on a network that has been running silently for 30 years. But right now, that system is being torn apart piece by piece. The hidden cost? A new era where prices only go up. This isn't some temporary glitch like a leaky faucet you can just fix. This is a complete rewiring of the entire global economy. It's like ripping every pipe out of your house and starting over. I'm going to show you why your life is about to get insanely expensive and what you have to do to survive this new reality. To understand where we're going, you need to see what we just lost. For 3 decades, we lived in a world built for one thing: making stuff as cheap as humanly possible. After the Cold War, the world made a deal. The United States and its massive navy became the global police for the oceans, guaranteeing that cargo ships could go anywhere safely. This let giant ships move mountains of goods across the planet with almost zero risk. In return, countries opened up and companies spread their factories all over the world, always hunting for the lowest possible price. This gave us the just-in-time system. The idea was insane. Think of it like a perfectly timed relay race. Instead of wasting money on giant warehouses, a car factory in Detroit could order a part from Thailand, and it would show up on the assembly line literally the second they needed it. Zero waste, zero storage costs, pure efficiency. This system was the engine that made everything cheap. It's the reason you could buy a smartphone packed with crazy tech for a few $100, and then a better one 2 years later for the same price. It's how a pineapple grown thousands of miles away showed up at your store in January for a couple of dollars. The whole world became one giant, super efficient factory. A single car might have parts from dozens of countries, all timed to arrive at the exact right moment. The key to this whole dance was choke points, like the Suez Canal. Imagine the entire world's trade flowing through something as narrow as the neck of an hourglass. For 30 years, it all worked perfectly. It gave us an unbelievable era of low prices and endless stuff to buy. We got used to it. We thought it was normal. It wasn't. It was a fragile paradise, and the whole thing is now falling apart. The magic trick is over, and we're all about to pay the price. The world today is being defined by one word: fracture. That single global factory is breaking up into competing teams. The era of make it cheap, who cares how is over. The new goal is make it safe, and that switch is turning out to be messy and incredibly expensive. This didn't happen overnight. The cracks were there for years, but 3 giant forces just blew the whole thing wide open. First, global politics got messy again. The era of cooperation is over, and now it's a massive competition between superpowers. The best example is the chip war between the US and China. For years, the US designed the best chips. Places like Taiwan and South Korea built them, and China assembled everything. But as tech became the key to global power, the US freaked out and started blocking China from getting the best stuff. This literally split the world's most important supply chain in 2. It's like telling 2 people to build the exact same Lego car but giving them different, incompatible bricks. It's a disaster of inefficiency, and that inefficiency costs money. Your money. The second force was a brutal reality check. The just-in-time system was built for a perfect world, and our world is not perfect. In March 2021, one single boat, the Ever Given, got stuck in the Suez Canal and acted like a giant cork in the world's main artery. For 6 days, it blocked almost $10 billion worth of goods every single day. The traffic jam lasted for months. Then, in late 2023, pirates started attacking ships in the Red Sea, forcing them to take a much longer, more expensive trip around Africa. These aren't just accidents anymore. They showed everyone the fatal flaw in the system. So now, companies are switching from just in time to just in case. They're building up huge stockpiles as insurance. And like any insurance, it has a price you pay for every single thing you buy. The third force is politics. For decades, the only rule was make it where it's cheapest. Now, governments are taking over. They're scared of global chaos and don't want their critical supplies coming from the other side of the planet. We're seeing a massive push for reshoring, bringing factories home, and friendshoring, moving them to allied countries. Think of it like buying your vegetables from a local farmer you trust instead of a giant, cheaper supermarket an hour away. The local stuff costs more, but you know it'll be there. This is guaranteed to raise prices. A factory in America has higher wages than a factory in Asia. Reshoring might create jobs, but there's no free lunch. We are trading cheap stuff for secure stuff, and the price of security is inflation. If you're getting any value from this, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. And to make sure you don't go broke in this new economy, slam that subscribe button and turn on notifications. So what does a trade war or a blocked canal have to do with your grocery bill? The short answer? Everything. These huge global shifts are creating a new era where prices go up and stay up. Think of the last 30 years as the world having a massive 50% off coupon. By shipping jobs overseas and perfecting supply chains, we were basically importing low prices. We got more for less. Well, that coupon is expiring. The new system, based on safety and backups, is just built to be more expensive. First, there's the cost of backups. Moving from just in time to just in case means companies need way more suppliers. It's like baking a cake, but instead of buying 1 carton of eggs, you buy 3 from different stores just in case 2 of them are bad. You're safer from disaster, but your grocery bill is way higher. That extra cost gets baked into the final price of everything you buy. Second, the days of using cheap global labor to keep prices down are over. As factories move back to the US and Europe, companies have to pay people more. This isn't a political statement, it's just math. If you move t-shirt production from a low-cost factory to a fancy one in Texas, the quality might go up, but so will the price you pay for that shirt. Third, the whole system is just less efficient. The Red Sea shipping crisis is the perfect example. Rerouting ships adds insane fuel and insurance costs, which are passed directly on. One analysis estimated these disruptions alone could make prices jump by almost a full percentage point if they continue. When this stuff becomes normal, it creates constant upward pressure on prices. This isn't the same inflation we saw after the pandemic. This is structural. It's the cost of making our world safer. It's like a hidden tax on everything. The price we pay for a world that's less connected and more suspicious. The era of cheap is over. If we're really entering an age of permanently higher prices, what does that mean for you? It means your money will lose its value faster than ever. You have to change your entire mindset. This isn't about being scared, it's about being smart. Here is your ultimate survival guide. First, have an emergency cash fund, but know that cash is trash. In a high inflation world, cash is a melting ice cube. You need enough for 6 to 12 months of expenses, but every other dollar you have needs to be working for you in assets that can beat inflation. That means you need to invest. Second, get skills that a robot can't do and that can't be shipped overseas. Deglobalization is creating a huge demand for local manufacturing and skilled trades. Think about what people need in a world where things aren't cheap and disposable. They need things fixed. Make your ability to earn money inflation-proof by becoming essential. Be the plumber everyone has on speed dial, the mechanic people trust, or the programmer who builds secure local systems. Your skills are your ultimate asset. Third, learn a global language. This might sound crazy in a deglobalizing world, but trust me, as companies move factories to places like Mexico, being fluent in Spanish, for example, could be a career cheat code. Trade isn't disappearing, it's just getting more complicated. Fourth, be ruthless about cutting out mindless spending. The era of constant cheap upgrades is ending. Instead of being a passenger on the economic ship getting tossed around by the waves, you need to become part of the crew, or even the captain. Move your money from dumb wants toward your skills, your health, and assets that actually produce value. The ultimate financial security is becoming someone that other people and businesses depend on. When you are essential, you win. For 30 years, the global economy was a crazy balancing act. It was balanced on peaceful oceans, open borders, and the insane hunt for efficiency. That balance is gone. We are now choosing to be secure instead of cheap, and resilient instead of efficient. The result will be a world that might be safer, but will also be way more expensive. Deglobalization and trade wars aren't temporary problems. They are the new rules of the game. This change is going to be hard, and it will change how we think about money forever. But understanding what's happening is the first step. The global discount store is closing its doors for good. The real question is, now that the system that gave us 3 decades of cheap stuff is gone, what are we going to build to replace it? And how will you secure your future?